Hello, hello, beautiful people. Welcome to our AMA session. I can see Anna here. Anna, can you hear me? Can you see me?
Yeah, you're there. Can hear you, can see you.
Amazing. Good morning,
Morning.
everybody's, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everywhere you're like wherever you're from. And by the way, so since we're starting our AMA session, it's a numerous one. Let's just check where everybody's from. Like I'm in Connecticut right now in the US. So whoever is in the area or in New York, so we can just, grab a coffee, maybe talk about NetHunt, who knows? But coffee is just nice. Where are you guys from? We will be waiting for people to join in, just for a few minutes and then we'll start. So
Florida.
Florida. Okay. Well, it's not far away. London. Oh, we have a few people in London right now.
We do.
Yeah.
I'm
So
in Spain, so
Spain, USA, London. Where else? Well, Ukraine, everywhere. Okay, another London, but in Canada, in Ontario. That's nice. It's every time it's just like so funny because the US and Canada, you always have the names of cities from Europe. It's just LA, Baton Rouge. I was in LA like a month ago, I think. Yeah. It was nice. Warner Brothers studio. Oh Jesus, it was so cool. Yeah, guys, so you can drop in where you are. So, well, we give people 1 minute. Is it enough? Louisiana. Oh, it's Louisiana. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm not American, so I can like make mistakes. But Louisiana, was I supposed to go there next year? I don't remember. My friend, she makes plans. Anyways, guys, so let's just start. Enough of chit chat. So this is our AMA session, which is Ask Me Anything session. A lot of people, they think that it's like just a webinar where we cover only one topic, but let me just get it straight. We only prepare topics just to cover it a little bit, like just a little bit. And then we answer all of the questions related to the CRM usage, whatever you have, whatever like workarounds you might be considering, use cases, etc. My name is Anastasia. I'm the head of customer success here. And I'm here today with Anna, my coworker, my senior customer success manager. A little bit about me. I joined the company 5 years ago. So oldie but goodie. And so we have our customer success team that helps you guys. And today we really want to connect to you again and talk about NetHunt. As you can hear, I think I have a little dog here, so he will also be helping me around. Maybe he will come and join us. Anyways, Anna, present yourself a little bit, please.
Yeah, hi everyone. I'm sorry. I do have a bit of flu, so beg your pardon for my voice. But yeah, I'm Anna. I am with NetHunt for around 2 years now. I'm a senior customer success manager. And the topic that we'll be covering today is actually something we go over on every single demo out there. We do with every new client of ours. We do with the existing client of ours who want to import the data, update the existing one, or just get some new software that they're fond of. They want to get the data from there, importing to NetHunt, vice versa. So so I'm super excited to show you guys all of the use cases, all of the mistakes that might happen, and sometimes importing sounds and seems complicated, but we're here to make it simple, right? So that you're not afraid to do this. You do not need a manager to help you all the time. You're confident, you're good, you can do it yourself, and we're here to help. And of course, we'll also be having some more questions at the end. So stay tuned and let's get this one started.
Awesome. Thank you, Anna. Yeah, so the topic we picked today is import just because it's one of the painliest. I don't know how to say that. Like it causes the most of pain for a lot of people. So we just want to divide to different, like to walk you through some tips, like how to ease your life and ours as well. Anyways, let's just keep going. So why import is important. And as Anna stated, it's not only for new users, but also for the existing. So like when you're just working with import very often. It's not only about importing the new data, but maybe sometimes updating the existent data in the CRM from other sources. So first of all, it ensures integrity of data while working with different sales channels of lead generation. So what it means that you might not be working alone, right? And you have multiple channels like webforms, Facebook leads, I don't know, like events that you're going on and collecting the business cards, emails, etc. So you acquire leads from different channels. And so, of course, you need to make sure that everybody is not duplicated, that data is up to date. Next, it ensures reliability of data while detecting and cleaning up duplicated data. So this is what about like when you are importing into the existent folder. And so you do not need to contact the same person multiple times. And especially if there are multiple managers assigned, it's just a mess. Next, so it allows you to keep track of all customer information and interactions in one place. Well, I think I'm just like talking the same thing, but like, it's just good to keep in mind. About NetHunt, so of course you've seen this screen before. How many ways we have to import data into NetHunt? Well, the first one and the main one is CSV file. So this format allows you to bring all of the data from anywhere in the world, basically from any software, from spreadsheet, and of course just the CSV file. Then we have a few integrations, direct integrations for import from other CRMs like Streak, Insightly, OpenPage, and Copper. So you only need like the API key and it will seamlessly bring the data together. But we will be covering today the import from CSV and making sure that you guys can follow these steps. So what are these steps to import the data? First of all, you need to prepare all of the files. And this is the most meticulous one, I think. Next, of course, you're uploading the file, then you're mapping the data that you're importing into NetHunt, and then you deal with the mismatched data. So it's not the end. It can happen, but the main thing is just to clean it up and map it correctly. So you don't really need to clean it up afterwards. Next, so what are the key things to remember while preparing files? First of all, before you do it, so you need to open this file, and especially before you were dealing not with the software or like another CRM, but the spreadsheet, because we all know that the spreadsheets, they are prone to be super messy, especially when there are multiple people working on them, right? So then we just need to clean it up, and then bear in mind what I have here on the slide, that you need to create separate files for different databases, either companies, contacts, deals, support cases, whatever you're dealing with, because the company information and the contact information, in most cases, you have it on one spreadsheet. It doesn't work that ideally with NetHunt and with other CRMs. So you just need to make like not one file to import, but two, and link them together. No worries, we'll show you. Another one, have at least one row in a file populated in addition to the field names. So with importing NetHunt, I will show you one example later, that you sometimes, like, we do not ask you to pre-create some folders or the fields before you import the new data. You can do it on the go, but this file must contain some data, at least one record, one contact, let's say, because otherwise you will have an error. Other things, delete rows that you do not need to import to NetHunt from your spreadsheets, let's say, because like you might be not using like half of the information in your spreadsheet, so you do not really need to import it into NetHunt, because then you would be just very confused and bored to clean it up after the import, like deleting the records or deleting the fields. Make your CSV clean. It means that all of the columns, so-called fields in NetHunt, they need to be up to one format, like each column. So if it's date, it has to be solely the date. If it's email, if it's, I don't know, tag, etc. And also one of the biggest, not mistakes, but errors that happen is that your file is not comma separated. It can be semicolon separated. It happens when you, for example, are importing from like your MacBook. It happens like from the programs that are not like Google Docs, for example, or from another CRM that used another format. And then you will get a the very error. Next thing is that you need to, this is what I mentioned before, you need to maintain the appropriate types of attributes. It means the same format. So like the emails, the dates, the stages, everything that Anna and me will walk you through. So everything has like you need to bear in mind that the system will not guess, like either it is date or it's text or it's a number. If you have in one column all of them, it will pick up one format and then it will show you that some of the fields, they are empty, and they will just give you a hint. There was like something else in that column, but we cannot pick it up. Why I'm talking about this? Because at the very, very first step, when you're importing the CSV file, you might happen to see this very slide that import failed, and please, of course, contact support. Yeah, but and then when we get the file that you're trying to import, we spot at least one of those errors that I mentioned before. And so in order to prevent this, I just am going to show you some of these errors before import. So what I've mentioned before, you need to have at least one row filled out. So you can see that I have so-called structure of the files, like the names of the fields, right? So first name, last name, title, etc. This is so-called structure for context folder. If you only save this, the data will not be imported. At least fill out, oh, it's Russian, sorry. Yes, of course. At least have one column filled out. You don't need to even fill out the whole thing if you only want to import like the structure, because you can create a folder on the go. Next, if you were continuously working in the spreadsheets before the CRM, not in the CRM, you might prettify your files the way where you can get like, I don't know, maybe like some highlights at the very beginning of the spreadsheet, like with some text, then maybe some keynotes, and then the whole data will be just like in the columns like F, G, H, not A. It will also not work. It has to start from the very beginning, first name, last name, etc. Next, missing field names. So you can see that I already, like, everything's fine. I have the contact information, but the field name will be considered the first row, so the first contact. So it will not be the first name, but the field and the column name will be Sundar, which is not correct. So bear in mind that you need to fix it. And the last one that I mentioned, it was the row separator. We will recognize only comma separated files. The one that you see right now, by the way, when you're importing the data and you receive an error, just upload that file to your Google Docs. Google Docs are always helping. When you open it and you see this, so then you need to fix the file, and it's very easy to do, because why it won't import, because the system will recognize it as like one column, that's it. But as you can see, there are multiple columns and we need to fix it. So what you do, you select the first column, then you click on data, select split text columns, and then you select the separator that is in this file right now, not the one that you want. We want the comma, right? But we need to separate the text into columns, and which is the separator that is currently used, which is semicolon. semicolon. So when we do this right now, your file is magically fixed. And afterwards, you click on file and you download it as a comma separated values. After that, everything has to work. But Anna will also show you some other tips, and she will walk you through the whole import and mapping stages. Okay, so I think this is enough of theory. Anna, you are
Yes.
ready to go, and I mute myself, and then yeah, have fun. Good luck.
Yeah, I'm taking over with the practice always. That's what I do on our AMAs. That's my responsibility. Anastasia walks you through the theory, and I do the work, right? Okay,
Hey, I
guys.
did it before you. I'm
Oh,
resting.
okay, right. Anastasia, you can see my screen all good? Let me know.
Correct. Everything's good.
Okay, perfect. Everything has to be perfect. Okay, guys, so yeah, now let's have a look at those mistakes at cleaning up the data, at actually importing the data. So let's have a look. This is for the file I have, something super common where you have everything, all kinds of things like thrown into one sheet. You have your contacts, you have your companies, you have everything here. So let's start from the beginning. We have the field names. This is good, right? This one is a check. We don't have a mistake there. Full name. We often see this for our clients putting the full name, so the first name and last name together, which is an okay thing when you're using spreadsheets, but not really when you're going to use a CRM, because they have to be separate. They have to be separate for NetHunt for various reasons. This is how system works. This is how duplicate detection works. This is how everything works. So fastest thing we can do to fix this one and to have first name and last name in different columns is to add a column. Obviously, one isn't enough, so we need another column to the right. Select the column where you have all of your names. Go to data, split text to columns, and now we decide what, oh yeah, sorry, I clicked on that one way too soon, but now we decide what we separated based on. In our case, this is space. This is what it clicked on automatically, which means that Sundar Pichai, there was a space between them. This is how the system knows those are to be separated. Obviously, this one becomes first name, and this one is to be last name. So now it's all good. If you guys also have some small, I don't know how it's called, like prefixes for your first and last name, well, then you have to also note that, take that into consideration. Sorry, take that into consideration. Maybe fix it manually if you have that. But in most of the times, usually it works just fine this way. And we did the trick. Here it is. Next one is the title. Nothing super complicated here. Stuff like that where you can't really unify all of the data that can be there, where it can be like the sales representative or CTO or whatever. We just keep it this way. It will be just text in NetHunt, so we don't need to touch that. Next one, which we see often, is a stage. So in NetHunt, stage is a drop-down value, which means they have to be unified. The number of stages is limited. So it's like new, contacting, negotiating. There's like a limited list of it, and you pick one or another. So it can't be new contacting later and new on hold. Any comments, any stages, anything needs to be removed. So these we need to clear out. If you, by the way, if you don't want to get rid of the notes, you can also separate them just like we did with the first name and last name. Just separate your stage and separate your notes. If there is something in between them, right? If there's a space, you know that they're separated with a space or dash or anything. You can try to do that. In other cases, it's just this kind of work that we can do. Okay, stages are cool. Phone numbers. Phone numbers, as of NetHunt, we accept any format for your phone number. So even if you can see like these are not quite unified, they're not the same, NetHunt will accept them. And if you're using your app, you should be able to dial the number. Doesn't matter which, like to click on it, right? To copy it, to call with any number. But we still ask you to make this unified as much as possible, if it is possible, because it can make an impact on any calling software you might be using. So if you're using a specific calling software, those do not work with any format like we do, right? Because for us, we just accept this information and then they need to actually do something with it. So call with it. So it is better to check with your calling software. If you have this one integrated with NetHunt, we will have some integrations hopefully soon, the native integrations as well. No ETAs, because I know there will be questions if I mention this. No ETA for now, we're planning. So it is better to check with the calling software you're using on which format is best and try to make a proper one and also import the proper one into NetHunt. Email addresses. With these ones, you shouldn't have any problems. They're just there. We will import them in a minute. One question that we do get often is when you will have multiple email addresses. Like, what do you do? Here, there's one and the second one, both for Andy. Two ways to handle this situation. First of all, if you do not recognize any of those emails as work, I don't know, or business or personal or general or whatever, if they're just there for you, you can just put a comma like we have over here, a little separator, and in this between the two. And in this case, they will both be imported as separate email addresses into one field. I'll show you how this looks in just a moment when we actually import, but this will just work. In other cases, if you, for example, this Andy email is a personal one and this one is a business one, and you want to make sure those are separate, in this case, we do the same trick as we just did for the first and last name. We separate them and put email address 1, email address 2, or personal business, and then we import. So that's also an option. Again, it depends on your preferences and how you're going to use the software. Also, please notice that I do have some mistakes here. This is, I will just leave it there on purpose. The email addresses are not correct here and here. We will look at how this is going to be in NetHunt in a minute when we import that data, and then how we deal with that. So we're keeping it there for testing purposes, not because I see that. Okay, company name, lead type here, all good. For the lead type and any actually sort of tags you might have there, any types, any products, I mean, what else people put in notes, put in tags, well, anything, usually, take tags, labels. For those, we also can add a few when we're using a comma in between two values. So if, for example, it is possible for your company or your client to be both the client and the partner, sometimes it's like the vendor and the buyer, or anything, right? If it is possible for this, like for two values to exist at the same time, then we will be not going with the drop-down list like we did for stage, because it's either one or another, right? If it is possible to include both, then it's better to go with tags. And in this case, just again, make sure you have the correct separator for everything. So it is a comma, like here, clients, comma, partner, and it will be imported in the right way so that both clients and partner exist. Okay. Source, if you have something similar in your files, it is up to you, really. If again, it is a limited amount of sources that you will be picking from, you can go with a drop-down list. This is what I will be importing here. If it is possible for you to add new sources on the go, or you want to be able to type in something, mention the name of the affiliate manager who, who got you this one, anything else, you can go with the text one. Again, up to you. In my case, we'll be doing drop-down lists. The dates, another interesting thing. Again, the dates need to be unified. The system cannot guess, as Anastasia said, and it cannot pick up July 2020 and the exact date. It's not possible. So these have to be unified. You can theoretically, well, no, you can't. I was just thinking that you can theoretically import that as a text, but that's not a good idea if you're planning to to enrich this data to add something else, then it's just not the case here. So they have to be dates. Everything has to be dates. And by the way, the format for dates, if it's a European option or a US option, meaning if it goes day, month, year, or if it goes month, day, year, you can pick in your settings. So just put in the right one here and then go to settings and set that one up. Okay, LinkedIn, company size, websites, these are usually good. With the website, same thing as with emails, just make sure those are valid links and correct addresses. Okay, so it seems our data is clean, which is great. There are some other use cases you guys can potentially think of. Make sure to ping those to us at the end of the presentation. But I've just shown you the most basic ones, the ones that we see practically every day and that our clients face. So now let's get to the actual importing, to the fun part, and make sure the system is not giving us any errors, right? Okay, just a moment.
While you're sharing, I just wanted to add up that, guys, you please send all of your questions in the chat box, and we will answer them during the Q&A session after the presentation, okay?
Yeah, at the end of it, when we're done talking, blah, blah, blah. Okay, one more thing before we import. For this one, as you can see, we have both the information about the contact, first name, last name, and the company website, size, etc. All of the information is like smashed into one place, but that's not quite how importing works. So importing goes into one folder, which means that the information about the company needs to be extracted from here and imported into the company's folder. And same for contacts. So contacts and companies will be two separate imports, but linked between each other. So what we need to do is we need to grab the information about one of them and the other one and separate it. So I've just created two sheets here. Let's grab the information about the company first, because I feel like there's less of it. So we grab the company name. That's what we need here. Also, other things related to company is LinkedIn. Oh no, let's keep it for that. I believe that's for the contacts. So company size goes into right places because we just checked all the data, and company website. So we're just copying these and pasting them into new columns on our new sheet. The rest of the data needs to go to contacts. You can keep this sheet and did just like we did, just copy and paste like this. Title, stage, phone number, email. This is about the contact. Company name, lead type, source, and date, and LinkedIn. Go to the contacts too. Okay, I think we got it right? Company name, size, website, and these are missing here. Okay, perfect. So now we have two sheets, each containing information about company and contact. And now let's download those. We save them as a CSV, and it is also important to do the company first. File, where did it go? Download as a comma separated value. Boom, it's downloaded. And we'll do the same for, yeah, let's do it later. Let's import this one first. Okay, we've got companies, all good. Now we go to our NetHunt dashboard. You can import from the folder, or you can go to settings, import data, CSV, because this is what we just saved it in. And we're dropping our file with the data. Okay, done. Continue. Now we select the folder. As you remember, it was companies we're importing to. And now let's have a look. So the important and the key thing here is to make sure you're mapping everything correctly. So we discussed the types. Now let's make sure we're putting everything into right places. Sometimes when the name in your CSV is not matching the name of the field in NetHunt, the system will offer you to create new fields. As over here in our CSV, we had company name, whilst in NetHunt, it is name. So instead of creating a brand new field called company name, which will be nothing, right? We are going with the name. Alternatively, if the needed field is not in NetHunt yet, you can create new fields on the go. So company size, it picked up, and company website, same thing. I believe we had the website here, over here. But again, if you don't have it, just click on create new field. And here you can make sure you're creating the new field with the right format, because if you don't do that, there may be some issues later on. And trust me, you don't want to deal with that. It is better to do everything the correct way right away. So yeah, so in my case, I'm just going with the website, but not a big deal. If you don't have it, just create one on the go. And next. Third step of importing is checking for duplicates. Basically what this one is the system comparing what you're importing right now to the files already existing in the system. So here we need to let NetHunt know what we want it to do if it finds any duplicates. If we want to check, and two options: if we want to import and update, or if we want to not import the duplicates. It is up to you. You can import and update matches if needed. Just make sure that all of your tags, all of your information is not going to get lost if the new information you're importing is full, meaning if you have like 5 tags there, right, that need to be NetHunt, that is all 5 of them in the CSV file. So the system will not add any tags, they will basically overwrite it. So if it's like 2 in NetHunt, 3 you're importing, and it's just going to add 3 new ones and get rid of the 2 existing ones. So again, just make sure if you're doing this, if you're selecting import and update matches, that the information you're importing is like super full, you have everything in it. Okay, so I'm not going to check for duplicates. I don't have anything. This is like a brand new workspace we just created, so we're just importing. And it's there. It's there. We can open companies and we can see all of it beautifully mapped and existing in NetHunt. So one thing that we will need to add is context now. So we're going back to our spreadsheet. Next one, contacts, same thing. Contacts, download, comma separated. Here it is. Okay, going back to our NetHunt workspace, same place, import data, CSV, and dropping the second file.
Anna, a little question, just to make sure you have the company field as well in the contacts.
I don't think so. Oh. Actually, I don't, that's a mistake. Thank you. That's a big mistake.
Let's fix it. Nobody saw. We were recording this session, but nobody saw.
Nobody saw. Yeah, I'm sorry. You know, I feel super sick today. So I mean, I can just do whatever and say that it's just fever and flu, right? I can get away with it. I can get away with it. Clients can't. When they're doing this, it's like, oh my God, that's a mistake, but I can't. Okay, yeah, guys, I totally forgot about this one. But while we're having two sheets here, it is also important indeed to not forget to put the company name into the contact list as well. The reason for that is the linking field, because we don't only want to we don't just want to create contacts, right? We want to make sure that the correct contact is linked to the correct company. And by the way, also predicting some questions about this one, if you have multiple contacts working for the same company, you will need to create a separate line. They will not go like here, like Sundar, comma, Anna, comma, Anastasia. No, it will need to be Sundar, then other employees of this company, and the same name of the company next to each of them. So because this is all separate links, it is a link, link, link. it needs to find and match the company name by its name as well. So yeah, thank you so much, Anastasia, for pointing that out. Let's save one more file because I totally forgot about it. Totally did. Comma separated. Let's go back. Here we go again. Importing 2.0. Okay, now we are importing this into context and same mapping happens. So for first name and last name, it picked up the right fields because the name was the same. So what we need to check is just the field and the format. The title is a text like we discussed, so we can type in anything we need without limitations. Stage, I think it's under status here. No, we don't have that. Okay, well, let it create it. But again, this is not a text. If for our case, this is a drop-down list. So we click on create new one and let the system know that we want it to be a drop-down, not a text. Okay, phone number goes to phone number. Email address is under email. Already exists, no need to create a new field. Lead type, well, no, there's a label, but let's create a new one. Let's create a lead type. But again, it recognizes it as text and we want it to be tags. So we're creating a new field and tags are here. Well, it's faster. It's not like typing anything every time. You just want it to be a tag. Okay, lead type is there. Source is there. It's a tag, beautiful. Date, well, I don't have any dates. But again, you see that it picked up its phone number. The system is smart, but sometimes it's just not, especially with numbers, with text. If it's everything, it's text, it doesn't know. So we need to do the same.
It sometimes depends on the date format of your settings of your account. Just because like right now we're importing, but we're in the settings and Anna can show you later. In your preferences, you actually set up the date preference. It can be European, it can be American, it can be with dashes, slashes, whatever you have, because the whole world is different. So right now we have the date and the month, but maybe if you have month and date, so that's why it cannot recognize that it is an actual date. So yeah, that's why it is important to manually map something, but then you can change it in the preferences.
Yeah, I mentioned that about the preferences before, but still, again, it is better to check out and make sure you're selecting the correct one. Okay, and here the important part is what I totally missed and Anastasia pointed out is we added a company name and we don't want it to be just text. We want this one to be linked to the company folder. So we make sure to select the little linking field. This is a little folder icon and company. If you don't have this one, it's also available via adding a new field and that one. So it's there, looks good. Next, we know about the duplicates and we're importing. Okay, 10 records added. I always love this screen. Like when it says all good and complete, it means like no mistakes, nothing. It means it's all good and perfect. Okay,
Yeah,
now
but
we're
then
going
life
to
happens.
Yeah, but then
Yeah,
life happens.
perfect, but then wait for it.
Yeah, but it's like good. It's like success, right? All good. Okay. Here, so we have our contacts that weren't here before. Here they are. This is how they look. Let's open any of them and see that everything was mapped. It's Christina. She's a customer success manager. She is linked to the company, the source. So the little tag is here, her email address, her phone number, LinkedIn profile, the stage that it picked up, right? So our new, contacting, negotiating, etc. One thing that is missing, I think it's the date, which shows mismatched data. So this is again what happens when stuff is not put in correctly. I think we did this trick for the emails also. So now let's fix one thing at a time. We're going to settings, preferences. This is a good one here. I'm sorry. And here we can select all of our preferences. if it's a month, day, year, if it's, this is what Anastasia was talking about. So let's go with this one. I think that one was the one we just imported. But yeah, there are plenty of options there. So it should be good. And settings for the folder, just a moment. There you go. It was under contacts. The date, just a moment. Anastasia, do you remember, or do we need to do it manually from now on once it's imported?
From now on, it has to be manual.
It has.
Because
That's what I
import
said. You don't want to miss it. You don't want to deal with the mismatched data afterwards. So yeah. So
this is
from
also
now on.
It's also a very good point, because like every time we also like get mistaken. So you just need to know that like why it happens. So even if we updated it, yeah, that's there you go. So like it still stays on the stage after the import. It doesn't revert back. So even after you change the settings in the preferences, so you just need to make sure that before everything is done correctly to your like system preferences.
Yeah. Right. And also duplicate detection. I advise that on every demo. It's like, how do I start with NetHunt? Well, duplicate detection, set that one up. I think there was with Beverly, there was also an issue with an email, but it's all good. Okay, so yeah, so in case you guys messed up somewhere, just FYI, there is a little triangle here showing you that there is some mismatched data here. And this is how you can find and show what is mismatched. Go into the mismatched data info and basically fix that like I just did. So this is what you do. If you find, I mean, obviously we imported like what, 10 contacts, so we can go in and fix things manually. If you're importing like thousands, hundreds of data, in this case, we advise to start from scratch because it will be faster to change the format, delete what you have, and re-import again. It will be faster, it will be better. So do not be afraid if even at the end of your import, something doesn't work out, just have a look at what didn't, what's not looking good. If there were some, also a super common mistake is when people forget to map fields to the already existing ones, like I was showing you for first name, or I think it was in companies, yeah, like for the company name and name. If you do that and there are some extra not needed fields created and you want to get rid of those, you can go to settings, folder field management, clean up the stuff over there, and then go and re-import everything again with mapping it to the right place. So don't be afraid to import, don't be afraid to make mistakes. Cool thing about importing is, again, that it can be deleted, you can go back to your spreadsheet, fix things, and then start from scratch. But it is better to do it right away, so you don't end up with working in this contact and then realizing that something's not right. I need to delete it, start from scratch, and then it's a big mess. So yeah, that will be it for me. Anastasia, giving the word and the screen back to you.
Thank you, Anna. Thank you for the presentation. So basically, we covered the basics, and I covered you like the most painful parts. Of course, we will be going to the questions from you guys right now concerning import. So not only like once you imported the new data and you realize that there is a lot to, for example, update, but you updated part of it already in the system, and then you're like, okay, I'm just going back to my file, I'm fixing everything there. Don't you worry, you do not really need to even remove the data that you just imported. You can update the existing data with the new file. So you fix the file, you're like re-import it, and then it will be just updating the new information, overwriting maybe something. So like the same that happened to the date field. So basically you can, you already have the fixed file, right, in the CSV, but you changed because you forgot what kind of date type was there, right, in the system. So you changed it, but it didn't change automatically. So then you can just like re-upload the file and it will be just done, not manually, but with the import. Okay. So now we are going to answer the questions. So we will go through the chat that you guys are showing. Also, do not forget that before the AMA sessions, you also can send us different questions and we will cover it online. Okay, so the very first question is from Jen. So is there a way to clean up the phone numbers to a normal format? Basically, in the Google spreadsheet, in the Google Docs, so which is in the cloud, there is no such way to do that. I mean, there is no like format the phone number. There is one in Excel. So like in the actual application in your computer, and you can do that. But Google Doc actually allows you to format the number like field, right, to the format that you set it up. So like because the phone numbers, they're also different, so like whatever you want, you can just like make a template and then update the whole column with this. After this AMA session, we will be sending the video recording probably next week, and we will also add some links like just to like websites where you can see like how to update different fields that were just mentioned here. So we're not going to like, because we do not have all of those tutorials in place. So don't worry. Yeah, you will see it. Yeah, just with the template. Also, another question is, can we have multiple websites? You can, but it's not in one field, because one field is per one URL, because like how will system take, like where will the system take you if you have two websites in one field? You need to differentiate them. So like it depends on how many websites you might have per like company or per brand or per client. So if we're talking about the people, so mainly they have like the links to Facebook, to Twitter, to Instagram, to LinkedIn, whatever. So basically you can just have multiple fields to it. The same with the phone numbers, as Anna mentioned. So like basically, yes, we do support multiple values for phone numbers, for emails, for what else, like for so many things. But then there can be another problem. So let's say you're sending out an email campaign. If I'm talking about the multiple emails, so the email campaign will be sent to all of those email addresses. If you do not want to send to all of them, but like to personal email addresses, yeah, so then the system will not recognize what is what. You need to split them into different fields. The same with phone numbers, like, is it home, is it cell, is it corporate? So like, where do you call? Separate them all the time. I know sometimes like when you're, of course, you're coming from the spreadsheets where you have everything, but then, the system needs a structure. It will ease your life further on. Another question is from Kathy. If you realize there are too many mismatched fields, can you remove your latest import and redo it? You can do it. So basically what you do is just like you update. Let me share my screen, I think. There you go. Am I sharing this? Yes. So what you can do is you can filter. You can see my screen, right, Anna? Can you?
Yeah, all good.
Okay. So you can see there is a field created or updated, but like if we're talking about the creates, so you choose the create date as like, let's say today or yesterday or whenever you did it. So like today you can see 10 out of 11, because yesterday I think we created one contact in this workspace, but we imported only 10. So you can just select them all and then delete them and then re-import. But as I mentioned before, so there is no such necessity sometimes to remove the records, but after you import it and you realize that you need to update the file and then import it again, what you can do is, first step, you go to the settings and you set up the duplicate detection rules. So mainly you already have a folder. We have a folder contacts, and we set up the rules to every time you create manually a new record or you import the file with records, you can detect the duplicates and either delete, like not import them or update the existent. And for this, we need the rules selecting the unique field. The most unique field for contacts is the email. We also have the LinkedIn, like the URL. You also can create another rule that will connect like first name and last name, for example. So if you have a contact with the same full name, then we will like take the steps, either update their records or not. So it is all individual, but you can of course revert it, you can delete or update. Yeah, so I think we do not really have any other questions from you guys. But if you do, please
I know there will be some other questions on the demos in support chat.
Okay, Jen. Jen is saying then, when I did my first import in December, there were about 10 different areas for phone numbers. How can I merge all of them so that I can delete those fields to clean up our contact? Oh, so you mean that you had multiple rows, right? You had like, okay. So for this, we showed you guys like how to split one column into two. So there is another formula. There's another formula, not as easy as it is to split, but like how to connect them all. So basically, you would need to insert that formula to in your Google spreadsheet, and then merge them all together into one field, and then select the separator. So we will also send it to you. So you can just copy and paste it. Okay. Jen, Lambert, I will send it to you all like today. Yeah, so but guys, this is all is done in the file, in the spreadsheet, not in NetHunt. You cannot merge all of the different fields all together. You can only merge the records that you find. But let's say also another question, the duplicates in the file. So we detect the duplicates that are coming to the system. Like we compare the existent records, let's say contacts, with the contacts that are coming, and then we do not allow them to be imported. But if you have in the spreadsheet multiple, like Anastasia's, for example, me, so you need to clean it up first. And to clean it up, there is also another formula I will send you that you can detect them, but then manually you decide like what to do with them, either delete or merge. So again, it's up to you, because we don't know. We cannot, we either merge it. But another thing, so in the system, in NetHunt, even after the import, there will be a feature available where you can then detect the duplicates. Like for example, in Google Contacts, right? Even when you go to Google Contacts, the system actually asks you, there are some duplicates spotted. So do you want to merge them or not? We will have that. Not right now though. So yeah, but coming.
I just wanted to go a bit back to the question, if it's fix first and then import. Every time we're talking about importing from your spreadsheets, it's always fix first, then import. There may be some minor fixes later on, but the good part of spreadsheets is that you can go into each and single line and tab super quickly, type something in, fix something. So it is faster. When we're talking about a CRM, it's not so easy to fix stuff, to see it, to spot it, because in spreadsheets you have everything, it on one screen. But because CRM makes you follow certain rules, like field types, the spreadsheet doesn't. This is why a lot of mistakes, a lot of mismatched data can happen in spreadsheets in the first place. So fix first, then import. If something's not working out, then we see if it is faster to, it is possible to fix in a CRM, in NetHunt. If not, go back to the spreadsheet, fix there. There are some formulas for Excel, how to merge, how to split, how to sort by name to spot duplicates faster, while we're developing this super cool feature of being able to find those in NetHunt. So always fix first, then import super clean and neat data, and you will have no problems at all.
But also there are some cases, like if we're talking like the messiest, I think is from the spreadsheets, just because if you, I mean, I also have some spreadsheets for my own for myself, like personal spreadsheets, like not the business data. So I do know how messy it can be. And then if you're on the go or like you need to fill out something fast, like for example, the stage plus the note. I mean, it's kind of handy, but then it's not handy. You cannot find that data easily. So the most of the mess comes from the spreadsheets, but also keep in mind that if you're moving, or you guys can also use not only NetHunt, but other tools like marketing tools or whatever at your work. And when you're importing the data from other CRMs or tools, they also have their own structure. They also have their different field formats. So not everything is unified universally. And we might also not like spot or recognize some like fields. This happens a lot when you saw that we have a seamless integrate import from other CRMs, but it also has to be updated because we NetHunt CRM, we update our code, we update our API, the same as other tools, even spreadsheets. They also might, like Excel has some formulas and Excel is like the mastermind of it. Google Docs, they don't have everything, even though it's kind of convenient. So basically, as Anna said, if you still have some questions again, and you have errors that you cannot really fix, then you of course come to us and then we'll see it. All of the files, they're kind of unique and you cannot predict this. Okay, so do you have other questions, guys, before we go? It was kind of fast, or was it? Oh no, it was
No,
an
no,
hour.
it
Oh my god, it
wasn't.
was an hour.
But it felt like, we're just done in 15 minutes or so. I was like, wow.
I know. This is when you're having fun, right? Oh, I also like
Yeah,
if you
importing
guys
is fun. I
wanted,
don't know. Oh, cute.
I know. His name is Monkey, and he came also to like he's my emotional support, I guess, because he couldn't like find the place before he came here. So yeah. Mwah. Anyway,
Cutie pie.
okay. Okay, guys. So I think we're going to finish. Monkey needs attention, and oh no, we have a question. Oh, Matthew. Okay, we're gonna cover this. When you import data that already exists, is there a way to merge it using first name
Mm-mm.
and last name at the same time? Oh, this is a very good question, actually. Right now, no. So, oh wait, merge. Oh, sorry. Yes, of course. That's my bad. You need to merge it, update. You mean to find the duplicates, right? So yes, you need to you need to set up the duplicate rule for first plus last name, and then you will merge them.
But you need to import first. You need to create those duplicates first. If there is something in NetHunt and then you have something in your spreadsheet, then you select to import and update. Just like I was showing you on the third step, it's like an import. If you don't have the full data and you want the data not to be replaced with what you have in your spreadsheet, you want it to be combined, then potentially yes. But again, if you have duplicate detection, you will not be able to create a duplicate, right, Nesta?
Mm. Matthew, is this the question? Because it can be also tricky. Like when you're importing into the existing one. Hopefully, yes.
Well, I think this is what we were saying about importing and replacing the data and not merging it. It is impossible because it basically rewrites it. If you
It
don't
does.
have it, yeah. So if you don't have duplicate detection on, you can potentially create this duplicate and then merge the two already existing records. But I see that as a lot of problem. Um, it depends, like what to merge, what to merge. If you have couple of tags or what I can't think of what data. Can you maybe tell us more about the use case or just get back to us after the call so we can have a look at this again? Yeah, Anastasia said it is unique. It is impossible to predict. We need to look in these cases in like tricky situations. We need to look at the specific case. We can't, talk hypothetically. We need to know what you have set up in your workspace. What is the data we need to merge? Is it different? Maybe an update will be enough, maybe not. So it depends.
Matthew, don't be silent. Oh, Okay. He was typing, sorry. Yeah, because like, we're expecting it in a 3 seconds. Okay, so I already have a bunch of clients in my CRM. Some of them are missing emails or companies and other things, but they all have a first and last name. Problem is some people have the same first name and some people have the same last name. Yeah, that is true. Oh, so that's the thing. So basically you want to import the data. So if I can merge them both by first and last name. Got it. Oh, I got it right now. Basically for this thing, Matthew and everybody who's still here, when you're importing, first and last name in NetHunt is two separate fields. And when you're doing the look for the duplicates, third step during mapping, during import, you can only select one field. Here's the thing. So not only for this thing you would need to have, actually this is one point for the improvements of import, because then right now the only way is to have one field which is full name. Basically just keep it at the very bottom of your record, just to have it as a field, and then it will be just search for the duplicates, because first plus last name, it doesn't work in the third step. That's the thing.
I actually have more questions about why you have that data in different places, because if there is something in NetHunt and then something in the spreadsheets that is different from what you have in NetHunt, this means that you're not working in NetHunt, right? You're probably just filling in the data, importing it on the go, or I think it's better to talk about that point here.
Yeah, what is the source? Like, where do you get those leads? Why they why they end up in the spreadsheet and not in NetHunt, like simultaneously? So if it can be like a web form, for example, the web form, so and it goes to your spreadsheet and then you import it manually, you can connect that web form to NetHunt. And with the web form, by the way, it can, because it's part of the automation, we have the duplicate rules over there as well. And so we can also spot the duplicates by first plus last name. So it's not the same as with the import. So in that case, you will have the newly created records, contacts from the web form. But this is my guess. Matthew also says, so if I can merge them by both first and last name at the same time, then it would match them up. It will, but it has to be one field, full name, first and last name together in one field. So then you can choose it while importing, and then it will update the existing records. For example, with the emails that were missing. But yeah, Matthew, just like tell us please, like why? Again, this is another point of topic, like why people are using different tools. Sometimes they can avoid that. Okay. Okay, guys. So like, let's take a minute. People are still staying, but like, if you guys still have some questions, we already covered an hour. You can reach out to us, but like all of you, they know our emails. If not, it's sales@nethunt.com or support@nethunt.com. Our chats on website or in the web application. So you just send it to us. You all received an email from me to join this AMA session. So just reach out to us. I will reach out to some people that asked questions. And on Monday, I believe that on Monday, you will receive the recording and also some useful links. Okay, good. So we all, I think, say goodbye, and to the next meeting. We will host them like every month and answer all of your questions. And Monkey says bye, and he's super happy to have me for himself. Okay.
Yeah, thank you so much, guys, for coming. We love the AMS sessions. Like I adore them every time we have them. We haven't had those in a while, so it was nice catching up. And yeah, always welcome. Book calls, write us, say hi.
Yeah,
we love talking to our clients, always getting feedback. So
thank you, Anna, for hosting it with me, and see you next time.
Yeah,
Bye-bye.
see you. Bye-bye.
Ciao, ciao.